How's everybody doing? Justin Watches Movies here. I just got back from seeing the latest Dr. Seuss movie, The Grinch. This is Illumination's newest film, and this is a retelling of the classic How the Grinch Stole Christmas story. Previously, we had him played by Jim Carrey and Boris Karloff, and now he is voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch. I have a deep connection to The Grinch. I read the story every year to my students. I love to watch the movie every holiday and even the 60s animated film as well. So I was a little bit excited to see The Grinch, and I thought this movie was just okay. Nothing special. But we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and at the end I'm going to give you a score for The Grinch. Easily the best thing about this movie is the animation. I feel like Illumination does a great job with creating their character designs, the town, the pets, everything that they do. They put a lot of detail into it. It's very cartoony at times, and I'm okay with that. But the animation does pop. It's very bright. A lot of the movie takes place during the day. There's a lot of attention to detail. The Grinch's green fur, Max, his dog, the new character Fred, who is a moose. There's a lot of attention to detail, and I really love that. You can really tell the Christmas feel within the town. The lights are bright. They have wreaths up everywhere. It looks like a pretty interesting town. I would love to live in Whoville. And Illumination does a great job of creating that atmosphere inside this small town of Whoville and even at the top of Mount Crumpet where the Grinch lives. It's a really well-designed setting. We have Benedict Cumberbatch playing the Grinch, and I think it's an okay performance. It's not my favorite interpretation of the Grinch. I don't feel like he was too Grinchy in this movie, but he served his purpose and it did work. This movie did make me laugh a few times, not a lot. I will say not a lot. It made me laugh a couple times, and some of the jokes in here are catered to kids, but I do feel like there was a couple times where I thought there to be a little hilarious, but nothing really strong where I was like, that is a hilarious animated movie. Nothing like that in here, unfortunately. There are some side characters I felt that are really strong. I really enjoyed watching them, like Cindy Lou. I thought she was a really cute character. I love her design, and I love her interactions with her friends and trying to capture Santa Claus. And I also like Max the dog. Max the dog is always an interesting character in the previous Grinch movies as well. And I always enjoy Max the dog, and he is perfect in this movie as well. And Fred the moose is cute as well. So some of these little side characters add a lot to this movie. Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting them to be as strong as they were. I thought this would be a heavy Grinch movie, but we do get a lot of Max and Fred and Cindy Lou Who, which I was pleasantly surprised with. Now, unfortunately, I said that this movie does cater to kids. Illumination is not the strongest animated group there is. A lot of their movies are catered towards children, and they serve that purpose. That's great. Kids love these movies. Minions is one of the biggest movies ever, and kids love those movies. They're just not for me. I don't find the humor in here to be as strong as, let's say, Pixar or even DreamWorks. The movie does have a lot of fart jokes and, potty humor jokes, which I was kind of put off by. I would love some mixture of adult jokes along with some of those kid jokes, and I feel like I did not get those strong jokes that made me happy. Kids love it. That's great. I'm happy for them. For me, it just did not work. I also felt like he was not very Grinchy. He went into town to buy some food and no one paid attention to him. In the previous interpretations of the Grinch, everybody was afraid of him, and it added to his storyline, and it added to the reasoning for him being Grinchy and his redemption at the end and his kind of character build-up. I feel like there was not a lot to the character, a lot of depth to that character, because he went into the town, no one said anything to him, no one said hi, no one even knew that he was really the Grinch. And I felt like that was like a bummer, because I really like the story of the Grinch, how people kind of hate him and are afraid of him, and he's kind of put off by the holiday, and then at the end he realizes certain things and becomes a good person. And I love that redeeming story at the end for the previous interpretations. Here they kind of just brush off some plot points that makes the character a strong, interesting character. We didn't get that. There's like a brief backstory for him and why he's so Grinchy and why he's so mean. but I don't feel like it was so strong. I feel like it didn't add to the character. And at the end, it kind of just felt rushed. We already know the story. He wants to steal Christmas, and then he realizes what the Christmas is all about and partakes in the Who celebration. It all seemed very quick, and it felt like it wasn't as strong as it could have been. Overall, I was disappointed with The Grinch. I wanted to really love this movie, but I did find it to be corny and silly, and the character of the Grinch was not as strong as I hoped he could be. And I kind of anticipated that going into the movie. From the trailers, it looked a little too peppy and exciting. That's not the Grinch. The Grinch is mean, and he's like hates everything, and a lot of times the Grinch was a little bit upbeat, and I understand it's a new interpretation of it, and the kids that are watching this now, that will be their Grinch, but this is not my Grinch, and I was a little bit disappointed with the story overall. I'm going to go ahead and give The Grinch a C+. If you do have kids, they definitely will enjoy this movie. It caters to them, but there's not enough to make a parent, an adult like me, enjoy this movie. Thank you for checking out my review for The Grinch. Stick around for this weekend. I got a review for The Girl in the Spider Web. I also got a review for Netflix's Outlaw King. I'll be ranking the Illumination films and also be ranking the Dr. Seuss films as well. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.